Welcome to Puerto Rico English News, the only local English news broadcast in Puerto Rico. Please subscribe. Keep us alive. The police reported Thursday, September 2nd, 3 murders that in separate events in Caguas, Auguadilla, and Maricao, Puerto Rico. The violent death in Caguas occurred on PR1, in the direction of San Juan to Caguas, just outside a car dealership on Caguas Expressway. Authorities located the body of Eliseo Serrano Carmona, 25 years old, a resident of Garay, Puerto Rico. He had been shot, police reported. The second homicide was reported around 1:44 p.m. on Highway 727, kilometer 2.5, in the Auguadilla sector in the La Plata neighborhood of Auguadilla, Puerto Rico. According to preliminary information, a call to the 911 emergency system alerted the authorities to a suspicious situation. At the scene, a charred, gagged body with signs of violence was found. At the moment, the deceased has not been identified and the motive for the events is being investigated. Meanwhile, the third murder was reported at around 5:22 p.m. in front of the Lit Ruiz store on Highway 105 in Maricao, Puerto Rico. According to the police, the body of Jose Rodriguez Bello, 69 years old, was found at the site. The deceased had gunshot wounds to the right side and head. The police did not know the motive for the events at the time of this broadcast. The police press office at the headquarters indicated that 390 murders have been reported so far this year, which translates to 58 more than those reported on the same date last year.
A person was killed last night, September 3rd, in circumstances that are being investigated by the police in San Juan. The death was recorded at around 9:45 p.m., in front of a house on Auguadilla Street. The authorities were alerted through the shooting detection system. Upon arrival, the units found the body with multiple bullet wounds that caused his death on the spot. The victim has not been identified so far. The incident occurred in front of a house on Auguadilla Street.
The Coast Guard landed in Puerto Rico with a shipment of approximately 3,747 pounds of cocaine seized near the British Virgin Islands. Together with other agencies, they managed to intercept the vessel and seize the cargo, with an estimated value of $51 million. The seizure arose from the interception of a high-speed boat, the Coast Guard reported. The agency said that during a routine patrol on the night of August 27, a Coast Guard cutter responded to the sighting of a suspicious motorboat in waters northwest of the British Virgin Islands. From the station in San Juan, Puerto Rico, they ordered the dispatch of the MH-60T plane at the air base in Auguadilla to help navigate the Coast Guard to the position of the suspicious boat. In addition, the Coast Guard and authorities in the British Virgin Islands maintained communication to intercept her. As they approached, the smugglers proceeded to drop the cargo and attempted to flee the area at high speed. Subsequently, a Coast Guard helicopter proceeded to assist the Coast Guard cutter to seize the cargo. In total, officers recovered 57 bales or sacks that turned out to have cocaine inside.
Caguas, Puerto Rico, a man was shot to death Thursday, in the Villasori neighborhood of the Rincon neighborhood, police reported. Another man was wounded by a bullet, for which he was transported to a hospital. According to the preliminary report, a call to the 911 emergency system alerted the authorities, who upon reaching the place on PR 763 found the body of Garay Del Valle, 28, a Caguas resident. The deceased had multiple bullet wounds in different parts of the body. Agent Jesus Rodriguez from the Homicide Division of the Caguas Criminal Investigation Corps and prosecutor Lourdes Cruz were in charge of the investigation.
Rincon, Puerto Rico, the maritime unit of the United Forces of Rapid Action intercepted a vessel Friday morning with 21 immigrants. The boat was 3 nautical miles from the coast of the Punta Gara lighthouse in Rincon, according to the police. The interception took place at 1 a.m. when the Coast Guard detected a boat devoid of lights that was trying to reach the island. The authorities described that the boat was white, gray and blue, made of fiberglass, about 22 feet in length and had an outboard motor. The group of 21 people were reported to be 17 men and 4 women, all of legal age. Coast Guard personnel assumed custody of the people detained. This is the second detainment with immigrants near the coast of Puerto Rico in less than 24 hours. The Auguadilla unit yesterday intercepted a wooden boat with 54 people on board.
Fajardo, Puerto Rico, Judge Geisha Marrero Martinez, of the Fajardo Court, found cause for the arrest of Luis Antonio Rivera Matos, 59, on charges of murder in the first degree and violations of the weapons law after, allegedly, killing on Tuesday night to his wife, Damaris Ortiz Rosario. Bond was set at $1 million, which the defendant did not pay. He was admitted to a jail of the Department of Correction and Rehabilitation, DCR, until the preliminary hearing, set for September 15. Rivera Matos became the first defendant to be prosecuted under the amendment to the Penal Code that defines and classifies femicides and transfeminicides as conducts that constitute charges of murder in the first degree. Governor Pedro Pierluisi signed the amendment into law last Friday. According to the legislation, a feminicide or transfemicide is committed when the woman is murdered after her killer tries to establish or re-establish a relationship with her. Also, the law applies when the killer maintains or has maintained family, conjugal, or intimate coexistence with the victim. Likewise, when the crime is the result of repeated violence against the victim, there is a criminal record of any type of domestic violence or stalking against the perpetrator, first-degree murder is charged. According to the preliminary investigation, Rivera Matos and Ortiz Rosario began an argument at their residence in Rio Grande when the accused chose to draw a Taurus G2C compact pistol and fired multiple shots at the victim. Rivera Matos, who works as a mechanic in a Ranger American Company workshop in Garabo, did not have a criminal record, had no complaints or protection orders against him through the domestic violence law, and had a license to possess and carry the firearm that he allegedly used to kill his wife. The couple's 24-year-old son, and the victim's mother, were at the residence and witnessed the violent incident. According to the statistics, 9 women have been murdered so far this year due to gender violence, which represents 5 more cases compared to this date last year. There are even some reports that suggest Puerto Rico holds the record for highest rate of femicide and domestic violence cases internationally, said Dr. Maria Nadal, faculty member at Walden University's PhD in Public Health program.
San Juan, Puerto Rico, in room 608 of the San Juan Judicial Center, before Judge Ramos Colon, an officer presented a chronology of events that culminated in the arrest of Roman Elias for the murder of community leader, Nilda Alverz Lugo, from the identification of the accused in a security camera near where Alverz Lugo lived until the tracking of the calls made from the victim's cell phone after her death. To her surprise, the victim's telephone was used to call 2 numbers after having found the body, said Officer Martinez Toro. One of the numbers traced on the victim's phone led to the prosecution's witness, who confirmed that he used the cell phone that Roman Elias stole to contact a woman with whom he had a relationship. When he went out with the accused to buy controlled substances on the day of the crime in November of 2020, he alleged that Roman Elias told him that he had to give a bump to a person to get money and a cell phone. He added that the defendant exchanged the cell phone for controlled substances on the night of the crime. The other number called was a security guard at the Hogar La Casa de Nuestra Gente, an assistance program for the homeless, and where, at that time, the accused, Roman Elias, lived. On the other hand, Wanda Robles Cruz, administrator of the Balsero elderly condominium where the victim lived, reviewed the video surveillance with police and stated an unidentified man entering and leaving the building that night did not look like the accused.
Thousands of citizens in Puerto Rico could benefit from the Supplemental Security Income (SSI) program if the United States Supreme Court favored the arguments that it will begin to receive as of Monday in the case of Luis Valle Madero. Between 305,000 and 354,000 low-income citizens with disabilities on the island would qualify for the federal benefit that residents of Puerto Rico have been denied by the SSI law that Congress issued in 1972, according to documents filed in federal court. Valle Madero is a citizen who received SSI in New York since 1985 and moved to Puerto Rico in 2013. He continued to receive the benefit until the Social Security Administration found out and sued him to return the money they sent him up to 2017, $28,000. When ruling in favor of Valle Madero, federal judge Gustavo Helpe issued an opinion declaring it unconstitutional to exclude the defendant from SSI for living in Puerto Rico. It remains to be seen if a favorable resolution of the Supreme Court will apply only to Valle Madero or will apply to the other eligible residents of Puerto Rico.
The Department of Health reported Saturday 9 additional deaths from COVID-19 that brought the total accumulated in this line to 2,907 since the emergency began on the island. According to the agency, the average number of deaths per day, based on a 7-day period, is 10. The population of Puerto Rico is reported as 3.2 million. The deaths from COVID-19 to date are reported as 2,907. 0.091% of 3.2 million equals 2,912. This calculates the death rate from COVID-19 in Puerto Rico as 0.091%. The death rate reported as 2,907 can be found on Google, Wikipedia and at the Puerto Rico Department of Health websites. Major media outlets such as NPR and ABC News have accused Puerto Rico of underreporting their deaths from COVID-19. Puerto Rico English News will continue to investigate and encourages viewer input. Governor Pedro Pierluisi has implemented many new travel and social restrictions. Please see our video posted in the description.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Help us survive.